If you're a foodie and you like food, like Kelly and I do, then you're gonna love this video, and be sure to stay around to the end because that's gonna probably be our favorite one, I'd say.
Yeah, so we always like talking about lifestyle in and around Baltimore. I think something that people don't know is that in the past 7 to 10 years, Baltimore has really put itself on the map as like a foodie city and come up with a lot of really great restaurants, and it really is starting to rival what we see in DC and some of these other big cities that are close by, and they're borrowing a lot of those concepts and just bringing us really great food and restaurants and date night options. So if you haven't checked out some of these restaurants, we always like to share our favorites. And today we want to dive into 3 new restaurants on the scene here in Baltimore that if you haven't tried yet, you definitely should. So up first is somewhere that I actually was sitting down eating dinner with my husband a couple weeks ago, and in walks Mike and his whole family. And we both, I think, had a really good meal there.
I mean, I certainly did. I certainly did. And Kelly got to meet my mom and dad actually too, so that made it just that much better. But Cece's in Roland Park is absolutely phenomenal. We've talked about it in our Cross Keys video, and when we talk about anywhere around Roland Park, Cross Keys, Cece's has really just come on the scene. So what type of food would you categorize Cece's as?
You know, I noticed on the menu they had a lot of homemade pastas. I would almost say it has like a little bit of an Italian lean, but I would call it a steakhouse.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's what I got, so.
Yeah, me too. They had a great wine list, great cocktail list. I saw the coldest looking dirty martini I've ever seen traveling to a table nearby me. It looked delicious. I think they really elevate a lot of their stuff. I really liked the pacing. It seemed like the servers were there exactly when they needed to be and kind of left us to ourselves when they didn't need to be there. I really enjoyed that. They don't always get that right, and I thought it was really well done.
I really like the, so if you're going for maybe just like a happy hour or something, the round bar right in the direct middle of the entire restaurant, where you can see you know, every angle of the restaurant, so it's engulfed with windows.
Yep.
So you can see outside in every which way. I like that. That's like one of my favorite parts about it, because you know, half of a good restaurant is the experience.
Yeah, and I think it has kind of a cool mid-century modern vibe to it. And that bar, we have a whole video if you haven't seen it on where to meet singles. I think that would be a great place to post up and like have a first date when you don't know if you want to do the whole dinner thing. I think it would be a beautiful place to meet. I didn't notice that.
There was,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a lot going on in the bar. It was really pretty. So that would be a good spot to either like meet someone new or maybe, you know, just see who's there. We're always looking out for you guys, Baltimore. Anyway, Cece's was great. I also think it's really interesting. Their chef, who's Nick Sharp, he came from California. He is gunning for a Michelin star, and he wants to be the first one to bring one here to Baltimore. So I'm excited, and I hope he does it.
See, that's what you want to strive for. You want to go to a restaurant where the chef is striving for excellence, so you know everything that comes out is just going to be top notch.
Yeah, so definitely recommended. It's a higher end restaurant. It's new, it's in Cross Keys, and if you've been there, we'd love to hear your thoughts about it. The second one is, I think, arguably now, the nicest restaurant in Baltimore City, arguably.
Which is the Ruxton. And the Ruxton is perfect. It is right downtown. It's right next to the Four Seasons Hotel. They have some barn doors that they open up to the cobblestone streets next to the water. So you get a nice breeze, you know,
it's the
ambience.
It's the old Flemings, right?
Yeah,
or is it the old
Flemings.
Shingale?
It's the old Flemings.
Old Flemings, okay.
Yeah.
So it's if you've been there back in the day, it's right in Harbor East. Beautiful. They did a beautiful renovation. Patrick Sutton does all of the Atlas restaurants, and this one is as beautiful as the next. Definitely the highest priced meal I've had in a while in Baltimore, but I think
it definitely is. Yeah.
I think it was worth it. I think it was delicious.
It's really good when they're just so attentive to you, and they actually care about not only the before you're actually getting your meal, but then after you've actually fully consumed the meal, to get an understanding of how you enjoyed it, how you enjoyed the experience, so that they can improve too, because they really want to have the bar set very, very high for this restaurant. They don't want any imperfections. So they really take to any of the feedback that you give too, which I thoroughly appreciate.
I went there for a birthday and I sat down and they had a little birthday card written for me, signed by the chef. I just thought all these nice little touches. I mean, you definitely get what you pay for there. The steaks were phenomenal. The atmosphere was beautiful, of course. I think the thing that people say about Atlas is, hey, their atmosphere is great and the scene is great, but like, how's the food? I thought the Ruxton food was phenomenal. If you guys have been there, I'd love your opinions on it. But I don't think there's much to complain about in terms of food there.
No, it's hard to. And probably the last point I want to make about the Ruxton and why it's probably growing so much in popularity is that, you know, not only do they have the steaks and everything, but they have the Wagyu. So if you've ever been to any of the Atlas restaurants, most of the times they have a Wagyu on there, at least as a special at some point. And that Wagyu that they always get is absolutely phenomenal.
Yep, so if you haven't checked it out, definitely do it. It's great for a special occasion or to really impress someone, a great business meeting if you have somebody that you're trying to bring in, or an interview, something like that would be great. It's a great location, easy parking, easy in and out, and just a really nice setting. Our last one is our most exciting because it's not even open yet.
And it's not even open yet. And, you know, we should probably have a whole segment on all of the Atlas restaurants, but it's going to be Atlas's newest restaurant.
This YouTube channel can be sponsored by Atlas, and you guys can just pay us in gift cards.
Right, exactly.
We're fine.
Is the newest Chinese restaurant, and it's also going to be in the Cross Keys area.
It's called Ninetail Fox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ninetail Fox, we think. And I'm excited because where I live in Reisterstown, we've talked about this, there's one high-end Chinese food restaurant, which is Hunan Taste. If you haven't checked out our Reisterstown, Glendon video, we have a whole segment on that. And it is a really nice Chinese food restaurant, but I don't think there's a lot of like great high-end Chinese food around here. You know, for me, it's like the takeout boxes and whatever. And I'm excited to have something that's like a fun date night experience. And it's supposed to be like a whole experience there.
The only other restaurant that is high-end Chinese is probably Joey Chu's.
Or Izumi, but that's more sushi.
Yeah, it's more sushi. So it's going to be a very welcomed restaurant. I can thoroughly say that because everybody always asks that question. Where's the best Chinese? And it's not like, you know, the bottom of the barrel Chinese.
This is not going to be your carry-out hangover Chinese food. This is going to be a little different than that.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole experience. It's going to be an entire vibe. It's going to be, and it's on they've built essentially like an extra floor on the Cross Keys area, basically for this restaurant.
Yeah, it's going to be a really nice setting. So again, Atlas, if you're watching and you want to get us some opening night tickets or like a reservation within the first 5 months that you're open, we take it.
Let us know. Should we have the owner of the Atlas Group on our channel here?
Talk to you a little about philosophy and what they're bringing to Baltimore and how they're doing this. Let us know. We'd be happy to set that up. We always like sharing what's coming to Baltimore, what's new, especially when it's lifestyle. The Baltimore in the media is very different than the Baltimore that we live in. So we love highlighting all the places that we love to live and eat and hang out and commune with the people that we love. So if you've been to any of these restaurants, we'd love to know what your thoughts are. And if you've been to another new restaurant that we should highlight, please let us know.
I'm Mike Mislinski.
And I'm Kelly Schuett, and we love talking to you all things about real estate in and around Baltimore. If you're thinking about making a move or looking to invest, please reach out to us. And if you haven't already, subscribe, share, and we'll be in touch on the next video.